Welcome back to Investing Talk Podcast. Today we're jumping right into a real head-scratcher, a company caught between, well, huge potential and some serious drama. Richtech Robotics. Our goal here is to cut through that noise. We're looking at a stock, Richtech Robotics, where you've got these really serious immediate regulatory risks clashing head-on with some massive upside forecast, all driven by innovation. So the big question we're tackling is Richtech Robotics a good buy right now? We'll lay out the whole picture, the good, the bad, the volatile, so you can figure out how to approach it. And hey, if you find this analysis helpful, please do hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps us out. Also, definitely leave a comment below if there's a specific company you'd like us to take a look at next time. We do read those. Okay, let's dig into this. The recent price action. Wow. It feels like a total collapse in confidence on the charts. If you were watching Richtech Robotics, you saw this incredibly sudden, sharp panic. We're knocking just 3 days, right? September 22nd, 2025, the stock's at $5.54. 3 days later, September 25th, it's down $4.04. That's not just a pullback.
That feels like the market hitting the eject button. What on earth drove that?
It's a fascinating picture, isn't it? You can almost see the fear overwhelming the tech story in real time. That massive drop pushed the volatility rate up to 28.12%, which is high. Now, the broader market is already a bit shaky. You know, the fear and greed index is at 39, so fear territory. But this move, this plunge in Richtech, that was all company-specific news. The real catalyst, the thing that lit the fuse, seems to be these serious allegations of fraudulent activities that surfaced mid-September.
Yeah, our sources immediately flagged that as creating, and I quote, material uncertainty about the company's future. It just completely undermines short-term investor confidence. You can see it. And then you layer on top of that some insider trading signals that were also looking pretty cautious. Well, it was kind of the perfect storm for that big $1.50 drop.
Right. So you've got this high-flying automation company, supposed to be the future, suddenly tangled up in potential fraud claims. That's a really toxic mix. Okay, so let's try to filter out that immediate panic for a second and look at the actual business underneath. Is it fundamentally strong, or was it already shaky? Well, when we start peeling back the layers on the fundamentals, the problems become pretty obvious, actually. Revenue growth looks, well, it's been kind of all over the place. Not that consistent upward climb you'd ideally want to see from a disruptor. And the big thing that jumps out is the cost structure. Their operations are described as cost-heavy. Really cost-heavy, which is just crushing their profit margins. What does cost-heavy really mean for someone thinking about investing here?
It means they're burning through cash. Simple as that. And it makes them incredibly vulnerable right now. They're spending a fortune just to, build and scale their tech R&D, manufacturing, getting operations up. So for every dollar they actually bring in through the door, very, very little is making it to the bottom line as profit. They just can't sustain themselves on the current revenue structure alone. That puts immense pressure on management to, slash costs and fast. And this whole cash burn situation, it's made worse, honestly, by some significant gaps in the data we have. Trying to find clear, verifiable numbers for key things like, say, debt to equity or specific free cash flow. Even getting the latest official figures from their September 2025 10Q or 10K filings, it's often listed as NA or just isn't available from primary sources we trust. That lack of transparency, especially around the balance sheet, it just ramps up the perceived risk, particularly now with these fraud allegations hanging over them.
Okay, so balance sheet questions, margin pressure, missing data. You mentioned one bright spot, though, that current ratio. Does that really move the needle much, given all the other risks?
Right. Well, it doesn't erase the risks, no. But it is important. It shows they have some short-term resilience. That robust current ratio basically signals they can cover their immediate bills, their short-term liabilities.
Right.
They're not likely going bankrupt tomorrow, which, is pretty crucial when everyone expects them to be going through some major operational changes. But here's the twist. Here's where it gets interesting. Despite all these headwinds, the allegations, the weak margins, the data gaps analysts are looking ahead and seeing something completely different. They're actually maintaining a surprisingly bullish consensus. The average 12-month price target, it's $6.
$6 from the current $4.04.
That implies a projected upside of 51.32%. Huge potential, right?
51%.
Yeah.
Okay, so they must be betting heavily on some kind of major turnaround. What's driving that level of optimism?
It really comes down to the technology itself, that bullishness. It's almost entirely pinned on the hope that, one, they can successfully restructure operations and cut those costs, and two, that their core innovation will eventually drag those margins up. Analysts see Richtech as having what they call dominant positioning, basically really strong tech, unique assets in robotics.
Right.
So the investment thesis here really requires you to bet that management can navigate this current storm, deal with the regulatory issues, and execute flawlessly to unlock the value of that core technology. It's a big ask.
So fundamentals are flashing warning signs, but the future forecasts are incredibly bullish.
Okay.
Let's bring in the charts.
Yeah.
Because the technical picture seems to be adding a third, kind of different angle here, maybe some hidden strength.
Yeah.
Current price, as we said, $4.04 as of September 25th. Where are the key levels traders need to be watching right now?
Yeah, the technicals are quite interesting. Short-term support looks to be very close, right around $3.93. If the price can hold above that level, it suggests maybe the worst of the panic selling is over, or at least stabilizing. The real hurdle, though, is overhead. There's a resistance zone stretching from about $4.23 up to $5.13. That's the key area they need to break through and hold above to really confirm any kind of sustainable rally is underway.
But we also need to talk about the downside risk, which feels pretty significant with everything going on.
Oh, absolutely. You can't ignore it. The forecast low for December 2025, based on some models, is still cited way down around $2.31. So if those fraud allegations get worse, or if Q3 earnings really disappoint, yeah, the floor could definitely drop out again, and fast.
Okay, $2.31 is sobering. But let's talk about that underlying technical strength you hinted at. What are the moving averages telling us? Because that seems to be the bullish counterpoint here.
Right, this is where things look more positive, technically speaking. If you zoom out a bit, the stock is actually trading well above its main long-term indicators. It's sitting above the 50-day simple moving average, which is down at $2.74. And it's significantly above the 200-day SMA, which is even lower at $2.32. Being above both those major averages is, a classic technical sign that, despite the recent plunge, the underlying longer-term trend might still be positive. And adding to that, the 14-day relative strength index, the RSI, it's at 58.75. That's pretty much neutral to bullish territory. Crucially, it means the stock isn't considered overbought right now. So technically, there's plenty of room for it to run higher pretty quickly if some good news, some positive catalyst hits the market.
And then, okay, for those who like the really long-term, maybe slightly fantastical view, there are these technical models looking way, way out, and they're throwing out some frankly eye-popping numbers, talking about potential highs near $6.71 by year-end, and maybe even swinging up towards like $32 or more by 2030. We have to stress right now, it sounds like pure hopium-fueled speculation.
Completely. Highly speculative. Needs near-term validation.
Right. But it does sort of illustrate the massive potential leverage if, and it's a huge if, they manage to execute perfectly on that underlying disruptive tech.
Okay, so we have technical strength kind of battling fundamental weakness. It feels like the next few months are going to hinge almost entirely on catalysts, right? Specific events. What are the immediate triggers, say, in the next 0-3 months that could really move this stock one way or the other?
Yeah, catalysts are absolutely key here. The biggest focal point is going to be earnings. We've got the Q2 report apparently due October 15th, and then the really critical Q3 2025 earnings release expected sometime in October or November. Given all the scrutiny from these fraud allegations, the market is going to be laser focused. They'll be watching year-over-year revenue growth, yes, but maybe even more importantly, any sign of positive news on improving those margins, evidence of actual cost reductions, a genuine positive surprise there could really ignite some upside momentum.
Makes sense. Beyond earnings, we should probably expect some announcements related to this strategic urgency narrative the company seems to be pushing. So updates on operational restructuring, maybe new product launches, any progress on market expansion. Keep an eye out for those. And of course, technically speaking, if the stock can manage to break out and hold above that $4.23 to $5.13 resistance zone we talked about, that breakout itself could become a catalyst, drawing in momentum traders.
Okay, so those are the sort of expected events. What about the more speculative stuff, the rumors, the things floating around that aren't confirmed but could be huge if they happened?
Right, there's definitely chatter out there. You see it on social platforms, things like that. Persistent talk about potential new robotics partnerships, or maybe significant international expansion efforts. Again, totally unconfirmed. But if something like that were announced officially, it could instantly change the stock story.
Or the management situation.
That's another big one. There's talk, again, speculative about a potential management shakeup, possibly a response to the fraud allegations, trying to restore confidence. But probably the biggest, most crucial wildcard right now is the outcome of the ongoing regulatory investigations, specifically that SEC investigation tied to the fraud claims.
That feels like the elephant in the room.
It really is. The outcome there, fines, sanctions, required changes, will dictate so much about the level of disruption and financial pain the company might face over the next year. That's a major uncertainty.
So it all seems to circle back to these core risks that you really need to keep front and center if you're looking at this stock. Despite the technicals looking okay, despite analysts' optimism, that profitability challenge is still huge.
Absolutely.
Management is under intense pressure to execute on cost cuts. We don't know the outcome of the SEC investigation yet, so you've got this regulatory risk, you've got internal execution risk, plus just the general volatility of being in a rapidly changing tech sector like robotics. Lots to watch.
Nice.
Hashtag in, hashtag outro.
So if we try to pull all this together for you, based on the sources we've looked at, the overall rating we're seeing for Richtech Robotics comes out as, surprisingly perhaps, bullish, an 8 out of 10.
An 8 out of 10, wow. Okay, given the SEC cloud, the material uncertainty you mentioned earlier, doesn't an 8 feel, I don't know, a bit aggressive? Or is the thinking that the underlying tech is just that powerful?
It is aggressive, you're right. But I think it reflects a viewpoint that the company's long-term potential to dominate in automation, especially in areas like services, hospitality, healthcare, is just so significant that it's potentially worth taking a calculated bet now, even with all this near-term noise and uncertainty being deafening.
So you're betting the long-term trend, the secular tailwinds in robotics, will eventually just overpower this current regulatory storm.
That seems to be the core bet behind that bullish rating, yes.
Okay, so what does this complex picture mean for your investment horizon? Who is this opportunity potentially right for?
Well, it seems attractive for maybe two distinct groups right now. First, you've got your short-term swing traders. They might look to play the volatility around the upcoming Q3 earnings or those operational announcements we discussed.
Riding the news cycle.
Exactly. And then second, you have the much longer-term holders, the ones who truly believe in that secular growth story for automation and robotics. For them, this current price, even with all the internal chaos and regulatory overhang, might actually be seen as a potential buying opportunity for the long haul.
All right, so here's the final question we want to leave you with, something to really chew on as you consider Richtech Robotics. Given that this company is clearly under intense pressure, pushing this idea of strategic urgency, while also operating in a sector with absolutely massive tailwinds behind it. Is the potential reward here truly worth the very high regulatory and operational risk that comes with these unconfirmed but serious fraud allegations? That's really the high-stakes trade-off you need to weigh. It's likely what will define the next 6 months, maybe even longer, for this stock. Thanks for digging into the sources with us today.